Ever seen someone destroy their own case while thinking they're winning? My ex and I had been separated for about 3 months, and during that time I spent countless hours trying to create a fair divorce agreement. I understood that in a no-fault state, both sides were expected to receive an equal and reasonable share, and that I would probably end up paying alimony. I didn't want to fight or drag things out, so I kept sending her drafts every few days. But she rejected anything that gave her any responsibility or didn't hand her full control. Every time I asked what terms she wanted, she changed the topic. After seeing this pattern, I moved all communication to email so I would have a record of everything. Even during the separation, I continued supporting her financially because I knew the court would likely order spousal support anyway. I moved my paycheck to my own account, but still gave her weekly money, paid her bills, and covered many expenses. My final offer before mediation was incredibly generous. 1 car each, I take full responsibility for all debt, including her student loans. I pay her $3 to $4K a month for a year, and she gets all the household items. All I would take were my car, my dogs, some clothes, and a few tools. She still said it wasn't good enough. Eventually, she agreed to mediation. It was only the second time we had seen each other since separating. The mediator explained the rules, including that we were not allowed to file any other legal actions during the process. I signed immediately. She hesitated, but eventually signed too. As soon as the mediator began asking simple questions, she derailed every response with emotional stories and irrelevant complaints. I decided to ignore her and answer only the mediator. Things got so out of hand that she even crawled onto the mediation table to scream in my face. That ended the session. The mediator gave us paperwork to complete and scheduled another meeting 2 weeks later. 3 days after that, I was served with court papers. She had filed for spousal support, claiming I had only received $130 from her in the last 3 months. This was completely false and violated the mediation agreement. The mediator called us both and told her she had to withdraw the complaint if she wanted mediation to continue. She refused, insisting she knew her rights. The mediator immediately ended all involvement. I prepared for the hearing by printing out bank statements from the past 3 months. I highlighted every transfer I sent her, every bill I paid, every ATM withdrawal she made with her card, and even over 100 toll charges from her driving through express lanes. It added up to more than $13,000. I also created a summary spreadsheet. According to the state formula, she was already getting far more than she was legally entitled to. On the court day, she sat beside me in the hallway and started ranting. To stay calm, I wrote down everything she said until she realized and stopped. When the court officer asked if she wanted to add anything to her complaint, she gave a dramatic speech about how terrible I supposedly was, and even said I didn't need my money because I would live somewhere cheap anyway. Then I handed over my thick stack of proof. As I went through each item, she interrupted constantly, trying to explain why each payment didn't count. The officer repeatedly asked her to stop, but she wouldn't. After reviewing the evidence, the officer finally said that all the chaos needed to stop immediately. My paychecks would be garnished for the correct legal amount, and the money would be sent directly to her. I asked to continue paying her car and insurance myself, since I had co-signed for both and didn't want my credit ruined. The officer agreed. My ex looked pleased, completely unaware she had just made her situation worse. As soon as I left the courthouse, I sat in my car and removed her from everything: phone plan, subscriptions, and other accounts I had been paying for. She started sending emails, texts, and calls from different numbers. I ignored every message. Later, she sent an angry all-caps email when she realized Netflix was gone. I couldn't help laughing. A month later, she filed an appeal, which was denied. Another month later, she filed a complaint claiming I wasn't paying her car payment, even though I had been. I had a lawyer by then. Before calling her in for the hearing, the officer even told my lawyer, "This lady is a piece of work." My ex joined by phone, ranted as usual, and was finally asked for proof. She screamed, "I just know he isn't paying!" The officer responded that she was literally holding proof that I had paid everything. The complaint was dismissed on the spot. The divorce took another 10 months, filled with more nonsense, but in the end, I paid less alimony than the temporary support and only around 60% of the debt. The only thing I truly lost was my dogs, and I still miss them deeply.